Hey everyone, welcome back. Just gonna run through some soldering irons, different types, where you'd use them, where they'd apply. This isn't just RC car related. If you work out in the field somewhere, you're a mobile mechanic, I'll just run through what I've used, how well they work, and my preferences. This is not a sponsored video. They're all soldering irons that I've purchased with my own money. You don't have to listen to me, but it's good to get some different opinions. So this thing's here for comedy. I'll explain that later. Don't take this serious. And yeah, I'm still trying to grow the channel, so if you do like my content, please subscribe. So right off the bat, we'll talk about some portable soldering irons. There's a few different ways you can go about it. A couple companies have things like this from Milwaukee. This is the M12 lithium unit, and you know, it's essentially a battery with enough power to kind of get you through a few sessions. It works well. I find though that on a windy day, it doesn't have the power that I need. I find I have to isolate this a little more and kind of get it out of the way in order for it to work as well as it could. I take care of my soldering iron tips. I use, you know, a good cleaner. I use decent quality solder. It's not my technique at all. It's just I find I wish it had a little more power. So it works very well. I'm able to solder motor wires with ease. Definitely, it's all in your prep of your soldering joints. A couple different companies make something like this, and they're usually around $100 to $150, so pretty darn good. Bigger though, that's the thing. Definitely designed for a mobile mechanic or somebody like that who's working on real cars. It is a little more cumbersome. You can pivot it, lock it, you know, something like that. This isn't a video on the Milwaukee soldering iron. A lot of them that are like this have similar functions. So, and yeah, you can replace tips on this and everything. So I do find though, if I was racing over a couple days, I would have to bring quite a large charger in order to charge this back up. So that to me is a little bit of a negative. And that brings us over to this little dude here. So this guy is the TS101. Came out several years ago, and you know, it's quite popular in the drone world. A lot of drone videos on this for sure. These things are awesome. They heat up so fast. Very small, compact, takes up the same amount of size as a driver in your toolbox. So really good that way. You know, essentially have different settings. You can adjust it quite a bit. And I am thoroughly impressed with this thing. It is anywhere from $75 to just over $100 Canadian, so definitely a less American. Very much worth it. You can get them typically on AliExpress or Amazon, and I just strongly recommend checking one of these out. So TS101 is the code. And then there's another one, I'll show it here on the screen, Pine 64, or Penicil, essentially the same thing from a different manufacturer. How these are powered is, this is a PD power supply. So when you do buy one of these, make sure you get the kit or figure out a PD power supply that can do quite a bit of power. I think it's around 2 to 3 amps and 65 watt. But make sure it's PD, and often it'll come with a higher powered USB cable as well. It's USB-C, higher quality, and it can take quite a bit more power. Whereas the other ones will heat up. So you do have to use a specific cable or one of these PD power supplies. It can also be powered by a lithium battery. You just need to use the jack connector, and you can power it with I think a 3S or a 4S, depending on the unit and what its power is. You can use a lithium battery to power it at the track. So super small unit, heats up really fast, I find it's great. So for portability, ease of use, being able to run it off like a battery from a car, or this power unit, or a lithium battery. I just can't say really anything negative about it other than we'll see how long it lasts. To be honest, that's about it. So for portability, obviously this is the winner for RC. It's so small. I mean, you can't go wrong. Even if you were going to a field somewhere, you're working on airplanes, RC airplanes, or you're, again, a mobile mechanic, can't go wrong, honestly. So Pine 64 or the TS 101. This thing, hilarious. Had it for quickly soldering sub-C cells and e-bike batteries back in the day. You should never use this for e-bike batteries, really, unless you're in a pinch. You should use one of the welders that looks like this. But yeah, this thing here, if I'm at home and I need to solder something, has really thick copper battery bars or something like that, I'll just whip this thing out and this tip gets red hot. It's hilarious. So you've probably seen these from back in the day if you've been into the hobby for a while, or just these you can get them. They're hilarious. So wouldn't recommend that. In terms of portability, also you can get a butane soldering iron, which actually is usually pretty good. Compact is one of these, a little bit bigger. I'll show you one here. Definitely the least expensive of the two units here. A butane one cost you like 50 to even 30 to like $100. Just need butane to power it. Usually quite reliable. So yeah, you can check out one of those. They definitely work. And then for at-home use, you could just get a simple like a 60 watt or a 40 watt unit to start out with. I'll show you one here. Or if you're really into it and you feel like you deserve an actual soldering station, this one here, the Hako, these Hako soldering stations are extremely consistent, heat up extremely fast. You just have to try something sort of pro level versus something entry level, and you'll never go back. It's kind of crazy.